Shawn Levy, the director and producer of Free Guy, was at Revere Beach outside of Boston, preparing to shoot a sequence affectionately called Dude vs. Guy. The project involved an actor interacting with himself in a split-screen format, not only performing, but engaging physically with stunts and dialogue. This complexity aimed to create the illusion of simplicity on screen, embodying true movie magic. The filming process was intricate, involving not only the choreography of stunts, but also the technical challenge of avoiding motion control, which traditionally required multiple camera passes with an actor changing makeup and wardrobe between takes. Instead, it relied heavily on head or face replacement technology, pushing the boundaries to allow longer shots and dialogue delivery by Ryan Reynolds as Dude, a feat rarely achieved successfully before. Finding the right actor to play the bigger, badder version of Ryan Reynolds was crucial. The casting team initially looked within the stunt pool. Eventually, it expanded their search to the internet, where they discovered Aaron, a 6'7" bodybuilder weighing around 315 pounds, who was suitable for making the 6'2" Reynolds appear small. Aaron trained intensely with low-volume, high-intensity workouts and a strict nutrition regimen to prepare for the role. The production included multiple layers of visual effects planning, starting with a stunt VS, then storyboards, and finally on-location crew Vs to understand the spatial choreography along the ocean promenade. The collaborative effort involved various team members who reenacted stunts and explored ideas to deliver the most incredible possible sequence for the audience. The team leaned heavily into emphasizing Dude's unrealistic physical strength so that when Guy returned to fight, the latter would appear as the underdog. For Aaron Reed, the role was a significant opportunity to showcase his physique, and he embraced the challenge enthusiastically. The action choreography was designed to highlight Dude's massive physical presence, with simple yet powerful movements that reflect his character's superiority. Aaron described the role as an invincible bad guy who whips a bunch of ass, a fantasy any man would desire. The shoot involved assisted stunts using cranes, harnesses, and cables to create a paranormal level of force that augmented reality by 25%, pushing the fight's believability while keeping it thrilling. Aaron recounted how he practiced lifting a fellow actor with wires and was later asked to do it without assistance, an amusing challenge for him. Filming focused on capturing slow-motion punches, quick steps, and humorous moments, ensuring the sequence worked well visually and emotionally. The team was committed to cutting properly to highlight the best moments on camera, enhancing the comedic and dramatic effect. Post-production took place in Los Angeles at a company called Lola, where the emphasis shifted to face replacement technology. Ryan Reynolds provided the facial expressions and dialogue for Dude, which would be digitally mapped onto Aaron's body, a complex process combining 6 red cameras capturing Ryan's face from every angle and advanced LED lighting to simulate natural daylight and help Ryan maintain consistent performance cues. This advanced face replacement aimed to handle authentic human dialogue thoroughly, far beyond previous efforts that struggled with matching speech and subtle facial movements. The technology required precise alignment to avoid flaws that the human brain could easily detect. Ryan and Shawn reviewed every single shot of Dude's facial performance, ensuring every detail was perfect. With Ryan's skills and improvisation, the dialogue was adjusted even after principal photography, adding new lines and riffs to enhance the character's personality dynamically. Despite the demanding schedule, Shawn Levy was known for moving quickly through production days, often finishing well ahead of time. Ryan's ability to perform consistently with complex technical requirements was praised as exceptional, contributing significantly to the seamless integration of his face onto Aaron's body. The final result promised a compelling juxtaposition, Ryan Reynolds as the original character versus the new and improved, physically dominant Dude, delivered through groundbreaking visual effects and intense physical performance. The dedication of all involved, especially Ryan and Aaron, was evident in crafting this unique cinematic experience. The scene opened with a moment of desperation and caution, revealing a character pleading for freedom while insisting on ignorance of their captor's identity. The tension shifted as attention turned to Jodie, described as an extraordinary acting talent capable of moving seamlessly between realities. In the film, she embodied 2 personas, Millie in the real world and Molotov Girl in the digital universe, a fearless, empowered heroine. The creative team emphasized the importance of connecting these 2 identities. While Millie and Molotov appeared distinctly separate, the spirit of one lived within the other. The narrative reflected on gaming as a form of personal transformation, a space where individuals project heightened versions of themselves, a more aspirational identity that sometimes feels truer than real life. Jodie considered how people construct alternate selves online, fascinated by the freedom of virtual reinvention. The film mirrored this notion, portraying characters exploring imagination through avatars, weapons, and skins, each a reflection of choice and aspiration. The concept of becoming one's dream version permeated both the digital and human experience. Early costume fittings revealed limitless creative potential. Stewart noted how modern cinema had evolved from demanding overt sensuality to embracing strength of character and intellect as expressions of feminine power. She believed these changing standards influenced not only filmmaking but society at large. Jodie sought authenticity in portraying a woman whose digital self wasn't built upon male fantasy but personal agency. She wanted viewers to recognize a young woman crafting her own heroic alter ego. The costume design balanced practicality with power leather boots, padded attire, and a silver breastplate offset by a soft blouse and androgynous braces. It blended the duality of superhero and everyday human. A vibrantly colored wig completed the look, symbolizing the merging of different worlds. The actor developed a distinctive physicality for Molotov, adopting a commanding posture and confident stride that contrasted sharply with her naturally modest demeanor. The transformation required conscious effort and became one of her biggest challenges. Filming the action sequences demanded rigorous preparation. Jodie trained for several hours daily, beginning with strength conditioning followed by intensive stunt practice. The stunt team praised her focus and discipline, describing her as a blank canvas who mastered physical roles with enthusiasm and respect for the craft. Through exhaustion and determination, she gained a deep appreciation for their expertise. Working on a green screen presented another test. Imagining invisible environments and reacting authentically pushed her creative boundaries, strengthening her understanding of immersion in digital performance. The process demanded coordination between emotional delivery and physical precision amid simulated surroundings. On set, energy often ran high. Every movement, throws, jumps, and falls required exact timing and realism. The director and crew encouraged improvisation, fostering a collaborative spirit that allowed Jodie to refine Molotov Girl into her own creation. Over time, both actor and character blended into a single expression of confidence, independence, and heart. After 2 demanding months of shooting, the final day arrived. As Jodie removed Molotov's wig and leather gear, she felt both relief and affection, bidding farewell to a character that had challenged and transformed her. The scene opens with indistinct background chatter as preparations are underway. Someone instructs the camera to lock and signals readiness to Taika. He is told he will be given some looks to use if needed. Taika Waititi is described as an actor who immerses himself deeply into his characters. Sometimes this immersion goes so far that he drowns in the character and essentially becomes it. This transformation is described as what happened to Taika, God rest his soul. In the scene, Taika plays Antoine. Antoine greets his Free City fans live and direct, asking if they missed him. He provocatively contrasts the first Free City game with the sequel, promising that Free City 2 will be so impactful it metaphorically blows the audience away, then gets pushed back into their heads to their liking. Taika Waititi is praised not only as a fantastic director, but also for possessing an exceptionally brilliant comedic mind, considered among the best the speaker has directed. This dual talent is deemed almost unfair. During filming, instructions are given, such as background and an energetic greeting. "Good morning, sheeple. Oh, you are fired." Taika admits nervousness entering the project, noting he is not a traditional actor. His approach involves only reading his parts of the script, which aligns with how Antoine behaves. This is acceptable as long as no additional payment is required. Taika hasn't directed anyone in a while. He wanted this role to be purely about acting and enjoying it, without bearing the responsibility for overseeing, leaving that to Sean. The director then signals for filming to resume, just as Taika walks in. Before offering Taika the role, there was a conversation acknowledging the potential awkwardness of one director acting under another. Taika had concerns because he's seen actors turned directors interfere with the camera placement and coverage. He assured that he would not be that type of actor-director and wanted to enjoy playing the role. A moment of confusion occurs about a supposed glass prop, but it is clarified. The unpredictability of Antoine's character is highlighted. One never knows which version of him will appear. Taika is recognized as a genius who brings vibrant life to Antoine. The character is described as someone with swagger, riffing off nonsense as if engaged in verbal sparring, ducking and weaving in conversation, which is found hilarious. Antoine has gone viral and is humorously likened to a virus causing simultaneous ailments. The character is compared to a blend of Ali G, Steve Jobs, and an evil villain. His speech pattern is unique, with a flow and intentionally mangled syntax. Free City 2 is anticipated to be humongous, a playful, nonsensical word. Antoine possesses a limited vocabulary and is portrayed as uneducated but confident in his own way. Examples of his speech include amusing malapropisms like ducks under a bridge and no rocket surgeon. Levy calls Antoine a villain for the ages and credits Taika's talent for balancing the character's loathsome and hilarious qualities. The conversation continues lightly, with mentions of Burning Man and outlandish desert attire, eliciting laughter. Taika is described as riffing at a sublime level on an already funny script, demonstrating rapid and creative thinking. Utkar Shambudkar notes that Taika understands his performance from a story perspective, aiming to ground comedy beyond mere jokes or strange noises. Taika's playful energy is appreciated on set, with co-actors coming to watch even when they don't have scenes because of how entertaining his work is. He operates with continual mental activity, sometimes to the amusement and at the expense of others on set. His approach to the script is grounded in respect. He usually avoids improvisation initially, preferring to perform the written material accurately. Playfulness and experimental takes come only after the director is satisfied. The creative process on set includes spontaneous laughter and lighthearted moments as the team experiments with character upgrades, such as turning Blue Shirt into a muscular mob boss with a twisty mustache like a barista. Some improvisations bring fresh humor, although not every idea is better than the original. The film's flow and collaboration between actors and director Sean are emphasized, with an easy back and forth of lines and cues. Taika is generous with takes, even aware that some won't make the final cut. The character Antoine is nervous throughout the film, especially about the character Millie, played by Jodie, potentially uncovering a secret. This secret involves stealing the original game build to create Free City, which foreshadows the character's downfall, likened to the Titanic hitting an iceberg named Million Keys. Sean's background in working with improvisational actors helps create a dynamic set atmosphere where lines and actions can evolve naturally. This flexibility and generosity foster a productive, creative environment. The scene shifts to preparations for battle with flaming arrows and catapults, evoking imagery of ancient dragons whose evolution shaped human existence. Despite the chaos, this is described as an ideas factory. The process allows for tangents and improvisations, reflecting a collaborative style similar to Taika's approach with actors. The scene closes with shared laughter as the character Antoine signs off. A man wondered about the nature of the place he was in, to which a woman explained that the city was actually a video game and that all the people there were players, while they themselves lived in the real world. However, he existed only inside the game. The director reflected on his career, noting that he had directed around 11 movies in a row before deciding to focus on building his production company after finishing the Night at the Museum franchise. In the summer of 2018, an actor reached out to him via text, inviting him to consider a new project for the following spring. After meeting the actor, the director recognized that this project was a perfect blend of a big idea, an admired actor, and an opportunity for originality and fun. Reading the script felt like encountering something fresh, new, and inventive, which captured his interest. The project involved exploring a new area that promised to be a fun and intriguing design challenge. Upon entering the creative environment, he found it incredibly fluid, unique, and inspiring. The director and actor approached the story as casual gamers, familiar with titles like Fortnite and GTA, and had since conducted a deep dive into gaming culture. This exploration allowed them to create a movie that both reflected and commented on that culture. An actor involved in the project noted that the movie effectively pulls the audience into the story, likening it to a digital gaming version of The Truman Show, where a non-player character dreams of becoming a player. There was an intentional, clear visual distinction between how characters are seen in the game versus in real life. The production designer aimed to make this switch in environments immediately clear to the audience using contrasting aesthetic approaches. The real world was portrayed as messier, less saturated, and more lifeless, while the video game world, called Free City, was filmed on a large format camera with vibrant, warm colors, clean compositions, and symmetrical framing, creating a poppier and more vivid palette. This contrast carried an ironic implication that the game world might be a more desirable place to live. The integration between visual effects and the art department was notably satisfying and creative, with constant collaboration and decision-making about how much to build practically and how much to create digitally. Filming took place in real locations where every storefront, sign, billboard, traffic light, and vehicle was altered to fit the game's aesthetic. Filled with customized and dialed-up reality vehicles, Free City's streets were designed to feel like an enhanced version of reality. An actress on set appreciated having access to visuals beforehand, which prevented her from entering scenes without context. The seemingly simple set of one character's apartment was actually one of the hardest to design, aiming to reflect a character with no personality by creating a sense of being trapped inside nested boxes. The multiplayer lounge was described as a curious enigma that required repeated exploration and rebooting. There was debate over how bold or sci-fi confident design choices should be. Still, a synergy among costumes, visual effects, and production design justified the presence of outlandish avatars and extreme styling in the game's environment. Characters gradually became more extreme as the film progressed, allowing for creative and fun avatar designs such as superheroes, medieval huntresses, and eccentric characters. One actor underwent a facial and body scan to accurately represent a bloodthirsty bunny rabbit character diving into the furry world. The actor expressed excitement about the look and the transformation. The actor found the experience exciting from the start due to the director's enthusiasm. The film combined significant practical stunts with heavy visual effects, seamlessly managed by the director, who kept many components moving smoothly. This was the actor's first feature film, and it was enjoyable to come to the set daily and experiment in the collaborative atmosphere. The director's caring energy and passion were clear on set, making the experience fun and engaging. The director expressed a preference for purposeful action that supports storytelling rather than gratuitous sequences. The film's stunts were often not foregrounded, but played out around the hero's story, contributing to the immersive video game environment. The director added numerous subtle details and Easter eggs throughout the film to reinforce the video game world, which may require multiple viewings to appreciate fully. The narrative showed the protagonist learning to earn experience points, suggesting that one could level up by being a good guy, introducing an optimistic perspective within the chaotic game world. A sequence was designed to immerse viewers in the game's world, featuring multiple simultaneous events, such as a helicopter crash, a man on fire running down the street, a practical zipline stunt, and a person falling from a building, all timed precisely to a complex camera move. The combination of visual, special, and stunt departments highlighted the collaborative nature of contemporary filmmaking. During the movie's preparation, the director realized this was the biggest project he had ever directed. The virtual world allowed limitless creativity, unrestricted by the laws of physics or reality. A robotic camera arm was used to mimic the rapid and visceral movements typical of video game cameras. Another filmmaker commented on the use of these robotic camera arms, noting how they replicated the camera motions frequently seen in games. The collaboration on the film was seen as destined, with the director and lead actor both Canadians who shared a friendly competitive spirit and a shared sensibility reflected in the movie's tone. The film aimed to be funny, visually appealing, action-packed, yet also relatable on a human level. Scenes included familiar social interactions grounded in everyday life, despite the extraordinary setting. The film explores prominent themes amid spectacle, such as the shift in mindset many people yearn for, the idea that their life can be bigger than the circumstances they were born into. At its core, the movie tells a story of a relationship in which two characters liberate each other emotionally, setting each other free, imbued with genuine heart and connection. The film also delves into contemporary questions about technology's influence on daily life and explores the boundaries between different realities and what constitutes reality itself. One filmmaker expressed fascination and fear about the possibility that people might eventually spend all their time in a better, alternate version of the world. This concept was viewed as potentially the end of humanity, though it could be seen as a peaceful way to transition. The director hoped that gamers would watch the movie and recognize its accurate reflection of gaming culture. In the game's world, there was no bank, allowing players to do whatever they desired. The characters embraced this freedom with enthusiasm. The overall production blended humor, action, and thematic exploration, grounded by a team dedicated to blending creative visual effects, practical stunt work, and storytelling to create an immersive gaming world come to life.